Introduction: the formula for massive productivity. We live in a world of constant motion, people running, rushing, working, chasing, but few truly arriving. The days are full, the energy is spent, the lists are long, yet the results feel small. This is the modern trap: activity without accomplishment, motion without direction, energy without purpose. The truth is, effort alone no longer guarantees success, because effort scattered is effort wasted. Real success comes from alignment, from clarity, from system, from intention. Massive productivity is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most. It is the art of extracting the greatest return from every moment, every ounce of energy, every drop of focus. It is not luck, it is not magic, it is a formula, a way of living built on four timeless foundations: clarity, habits, time, mastery, and energy. Together they transform ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. It begins with clarity, because you cannot hit a target you cannot see. When you know exactly what you want, everything else gains meaning. Clarity filters distractions, it turns noise into direction, it allows you to say no to what steals your time and yes to what builds your dream. Without clarity, productivity is just motion in circles. With clarity, it becomes a straight line toward purpose. Then comes the power of habits, because success is never built in one great burst, it is shaped in the quiet repetition of daily discipline. Your habits define your destiny. They are the invisible structure behind every visible result. When your actions are consistent, your progress becomes inevitable. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom, because it frees you from confusion and chaos. It turns goals into automatic patterns of progress. The third force is mastery of time. Time is the currency of life. Once spent, it never returns. Those who master it multiply their results, while others lose hours without noticing. Mastery of time is choosing with intention what gets your attention. It is protecting your priorities from distractions. It is designing your days so your schedule reflects your values, not someone else's demands. Time mastery is how you move from motion to momentum. And finally, energy and focus, the fuel of all productivity, because what good is perfect planning if your body is tired and your mind unfocused? Energy gives strength, focus gives direction. Together they create power. When you manage your health, your rest, your mindset, your environment, you unleash a force that turns ordinary hours into powerful creation. The formula for massive productivity is the harmony of these four forces: clarity, direction, habits, discipline, time, alignment, energy, and focus. When they unite, your effort compounds, your life transforms. You stop drifting, you start designing, you stop surviving, you start thriving. This is not just about getting more done, it is about becoming more aligned, more intentional, more alive. This is the path to massive productivity. The formula for massive productivity: every life holds a spark waiting to ignite into greatness. Every person carries within them the potential to build something remarkable, but most never tap into that hidden energy, because they wait for permission, they wait for perfect timing, they wait for motivation to strike. And while they wait, time keeps moving, opportunities keep passing, and life keeps slipping through their fingers. The truth is that massive productivity does not come from waiting, it comes from doing. It comes from clarity of purpose and relentless commitment to act, even when the feeling is gone. When you wake up each morning, you have two choices: to drift or to design. To drift is to hand control of your life to circumstance. To design is to reclaim it, and that is where productivity begins. The formula starts with clarity, because without clarity you cannot move with power. A confused mind hesitates, a focused mind executes. When you know exactly what you want, everything begins to align. Clarity is the magnet that pulls opportunity toward you. When you write your goals clearly, your subconscious begins to build bridges toward them. Unseen doors begin to open. But when your goals are vague, your energy disperses and your time dissolves into noise. Clarity means seeing your life as a map and knowing precisely where you stand and where you must go. It is standing in the middle of chaos and still being able to say, this is the direction, this is my purpose, this is my path. Once clarity is established, you move into the second force of productivity, the discipline of habits, because success is never built in a single moment, it is built in repetition. It is built in the quiet, unseen hours when no one is watching. Discipline is the bridge between intention and result. It is the invisible muscle that keeps you moving when the world says stop. It is what transforms effort into excellence. Without discipline, your dreams stay dreams. With discipline, your dreams become structure, action, and progress. Every day you wake up with a limited amount of willpower, but habits multiply that power. They create momentum that no longer requires decision. You train your mind to act automatically on the things that move your life forward. When you develop the right habits, productivity becomes your natural state, not a forced condition. A champion does not wait for motivation. A champion builds systems that run even when motivation fades. Habits protect your focus from the distractions that seek to steal your hours and your energy. So the question is, what habits shape your day? Because your habits are the architecture of your destiny. If you want massive productivity, design habits that pull you toward your goals, not away from them. Build routines that serve your higher purpose and remove those that waste your time. Productivity is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters most with unbreakable consistency. And that begins when you take control of your time. Time mastery is the third pillar in the formula, because time is the currency of achievement, and the way you spend it reveals what you truly value. Every person has the Same 24 hours, but not the same awareness of their worth. Most people treat time like loose change, spending it on every distraction that flashes in front of them. The productive person treats time like gold. They budget it, they protect it, they invest it in growth. Time mastery begins with awareness of how you currently spend your days and which actions actually move you closer to your purpose. It requires courage to say no, because every yes to the wrong thing is a no to the right thing. You must become the guardian of your calendar, not its victim. Block your priorities first, then fit the rest around them. When you plan your day before it begins, you multiply its power, because clarity creates focus and focus creates flow. Flow is the secret state of deep work, where hours feel like minutes, where your mind and body align and your energy becomes unstoppable. You enter this state when you remove noise and commit your full attention to a single meaningful task at a time. Multitasking is the enemy of mastery. Focus is the weapon of the productive mind. Your energy flows where your attention goes, so direct it intentionally, not reactively. The formula for massive productivity. The fourth pillar of massive productivity is energy, because without energy, even the clearest plan and the strongest discipline collapse. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Energy is your life force, your invisible currency, the source of your focus, creativity, and resilience. Productivity begins with the management of energy, not just time. Your body is the vessel that carries your dreams, so treat it with the respect it deserves. What you eat, how you rest, how you move, and how you think all determine the level of energy you bring into your day. Your mind and body form one system. When your body is weak, your mind slows. When your mind is cluttered, your body resists. So start your mornings by activating both. Fill your lungs with air, stretch your muscles, speak power into your day. Tell yourself that today you move with purpose. Today you create. Today you win, because self-talk shapes energy. Every thought you allow in your mind either fuels or drains you. Energy is not found, it is generated. It grows when you align your actions with your values. When you do what matters, you feel alive. When you drift through meaningless noise, you feel tired. That is why clarity is the first step, because it aligns energy. When you know your why, you can bear almost any how. The productive person does not ask for an easy day, they ask for the strength to conquer a hard-won. Energy expands with use, not with rest. You build stamina by doing, you build confidence by acting, and you build power by showing up consistently, even when tired, even when uncertain, even when unseen, because greatness is built in the quiet repetitions of ordinary days when no one claps and no one notices. Productivity is not speed, it is alignment. It is the art of directing every ounce of your effort toward what truly matters. You can be busy all day and still go nowhere if your ladder leans against the wrong wall. So stop measuring your days by how many tasks you complete. Start measuring them by how much value you create. Massive productivity is about leverage, about finding the few actions that produce the greatest results. The 80-20 principle is not theory, it is truth. 80% of results come from 20% of actions. Your job is to identify that 20% and focus relentlessly on it. Cut the noise, cut the unnecessary meetings, the endless scrolling, the tasks that exist only to make you feel busy. Ask yourself constantly, is this moving me closer to my purpose or farther away? When you learn to ask that question with honesty, your life transforms. And then comes focus, because focus is the amplifier of energy. Without focus, even great energy leaks into distraction. Focus is the art of saying no. It is the discipline to guard your attention like a treasure, because attention is the new currency of success. What you focus on grows, and what you ignore fades. When you feed your focus, you starve your distractions and you reclaim control of your life. Focus requires boundaries. Turn off what pulls you away from your mission, the notifications, the noise, the opinions of others. Remember that not every voice deserves access to your mind. Your peace is priceless and your focus is sacred. Train yourself to enter deep work every day. Deep work is the state of total immersion, where creativity flows naturally, where time dissolves and only the task exists. This is where real productivity lives. It is not glamorous, it is not loud, it is simply powerful, consistent, focused action repeated until mastery is achieved. To reach this level, you must simplify. Complexity kills productivity. Clarity simplifies. Focus magnifies. Energy multiplies. When you simplify your workflow, you clear mental space to create more. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. The most productive systems are not the most complicated, they are the most clear, the most consistent, and the most aligned with purpose. The secret of masters is that they think long-term while acting daily. They know that true productivity is not about one great day, it is about 1,000 consistent ones. A small disciplined action repeated over time creates results that look like miracles to those who quit early. Time rewards the consistent, the world notices the persistent. When you stay in motion, when you refuse to break your chain of progress, momentum becomes your ally. Momentum makes effort easier and progress faster. It is the compound interest of action. Once you build it, protect it fiercely. The formula for massive productivity. Momentum is the secret wind behind achievement. Once you are in motion, stay in motion, because motion creates emotion. When you move, your energy rises. When you stay still, your doubt grows. It is easier to act your way into confidence than to wait your way into courage. The productive person understands that progress, not Perfection is the real target. Perfection is a mirage that kills speed, while progress builds momentum. Success loves momentum, and momentum comes from daily consistent action, not occasional bursts of inspiration. So keep your promises to yourself. When you say you will do something, do it, because self-trust is the foundation of self-mastery. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build strength. Every time you break one, you weaken your own belief system. Discipline is a form of self-respect. Massive productivity is born from structure, not chaos. Your environment shapes your performance. Design your surroundings to support your goals. Remove clutter. Organize your workspace. Keep only what adds value, because environment is silent influence. It can either drain or drive you. A messy environment breeds confusion. A clean one invites clarity. When everything around you signals order, your mind follows suit. Build rituals that anchor your focus. Rituals tell your brain it is time to create, time to perform, time to rise. This is why top performers have routines, not because they are boring, but because they understand that freedom lives inside structure. When you automate the basics, you liberate energy for what truly matters. Every great builder, every artist, every leader understands that consistency beats intensity. Intensity fades, consistency compounds. One step each day may seem small, but compounded over years, it changes everything. The world sees the highlight, but mastery happens in the dark. When no one is watching, keep showing up, keep stacking days, keep planting seeds, even when you cannot yet see the fruit. Every action moves you closer to who you are becoming, because every act is a vote for your future self. Massive productivity is not just about work, it is about alignment between purpose, energy, and time. When you live out of alignment, you feel resistance. When you live in alignment, you feel flow. Purpose gives you the reason, habits give you the path, focus gives you the power, and energy gives you the fuel. Align them, and your potential becomes unstoppable. And remember, energy is more than physical, it is emotional and spiritual. It is the fire of your intention. Protect your energy from negativity, from gossip, from fear. Those are leaks in your power. Guard your mind like a fortress. Feed it with knowledge, feed it with gratitude. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and more than enough. It sharpens your focus on growth instead of lack. The most productive people are not those who have everything, they are those who make the most of what they have. They use every setback as a setup, every obstacle as a lesson, every delay as preparation, because they understand that life happens for them, not to them. Your journey toward massive productivity will test you. There will be days when motivation is gone, when progress feels invisible, when the voice of doubt screams louder than the whisper of belief. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember that pain is the proof of growth, that discomfort is the evidence of change. Nothing meaningful is built in comfort. Everything worth having demands a price, and that price is discipline, patience, and resilience. You cannot skip the struggle. It is the forge that builds your strength. The formula for massive productivity demands that you treat every day as a masterpiece, not because every day will be perfect, but because every day is a stroke on the canvas of your legacy. Start each morning with intention, end each night with reflection. Ask yourself, did I move forward? Did I honor my purpose? Did I keep my promises? If yes, you are winning. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Measure your growth, measure your focus, measure your habits, track your time, track your wins. Tracking turns awareness into improvement. When you see your progress, you fuel your belief. The formula for massive productivity: you are the designer of your destiny, the sculptor of your time, the author of your story. If you do not write your plan, someone else will write it for you. Productivity is not about fitting into someone else's system. It is about building one that reflects your vision, your values, and your rhythm. What works for another may not work for you. The goal is alignment, not imitation. When your system reflects who you are, it becomes effortless, it becomes flow. To achieve massive productivity, you must learn the art of recovery. Rest is not laziness, it is strategy. You cannot run at full speed forever. Even machines need maintenance. Rest refuels your mind, sharpens your clarity, and restores your creativity. Sleep, nutrition, silence, reflection, all are ingredients of sustainable success. Burnout is not a badge of honor, it is a signal to realign. When you rest intentionally, you return with greater focus, greater strength, and greater awareness. The unproductive rest to escape, the productive rest to recharge. The difference is purpose. And then there is purpose itself. Purpose is the engine that drives persistence. When your purpose is clear, your productivity becomes unstoppable, because meaning gives energy, meaning gives courage. When you work only for reward, your energy fades. When you work from purpose, your energy multiplies. Purpose connects you to something bigger than yourself. It transforms work into worship and effort into joy. When you know your why, you can endure anyhow. Massive productivity also demands that you master your emotions, because emotions are energy in motion. Unmanaged emotions scatter your focus, controlled emotions channel your power. Success requires emotional intelligence, the ability to stay centered in chaos, to respond, not react, to turn pressure into performance. Your mood must not be the master of your mission. Learn to direct your state through movement, breath, and mindset. When you master your emotions, you master your time, because time wasted on frustration, doubt, and anger is energy stolen from creation. And remember, no one succeeds alone. Productivity multiplies through collaboration. Find people who lift your standards, who challenge you, who remind you of your greatness. The right circle fuels your fire, the wrong one drains it. Choose your environment with intention. Surround yourself with visionaries, with builders, with doers. Iron sharpens iron. When you walk with purpose-driven people, your productivity rises naturally. Massive productivity is not a sprint, it is a rhythm, a dance between effort and ease, between focus and rest, between planning and surrender. When you learn that rhythm, you flow with life. Instead of fighting it, you stop forcing and start allowing, because alignment creates acceleration. The universe rewards clarity and consistency. When you act with integrity and persistence, unseen forces begin to move in your favor. Opportunities appear. People align, doors open. This is not magic, it is momentum built through clarity, energy, and purpose. You must also master reflection, because reflection turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, you repeat mistakes. With reflection, you refine systems. Take time weekly to look back, not with regret, but with curiosity. Ask what worked, what wasted time, what can I improve? This is how you evolve. Productivity is not static, it is dynamic. It grows as you grow. And finally, contribution. The highest level of productivity is not personal gain, it is impact. True fulfillment comes not from what you get, but from what you give. When your productivity serves others, your motivation never dies, because service renews spirit. Your work becomes legacy, your hours become history. You realize that productivity was never just about doing more, it was about becoming more, becoming someone capable of creating value, lifting others, and leaving the world better than you found it. So rise each day with purpose, plan with clarity, act with discipline, protect your energy, guard your focus, align your habits, and serve with heart, because this is the formula for massive productivity. This is how ordinary lives become extraordinary. This is how dreams take form. This is how you win. The world does not owe you results, but it will respond to your consistency, to your persistence, to your clarity of purpose. Every action, every thought, every choice compounds into destiny. You are not behind, you are being prepared. You are not late, you are learning. You are not lost, you are becoming. So keep going, keep building, keep believing, and remember that massive productivity is not just about what you do, it is about who you become in the process.